Well, the P&L is a little bit light, but we had a pretty nice day today. I'm pretty happy with it. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It is Monday, October the 6th. And yeah, as you can see, we had a bit of a green day, about 200 bucks, 160 some dollars across the accounts. And as you can see, a couple accounts are red and the rest of them are green. So a few things to talk about. First and foremost, I decided to split my accounts into two groups. So I have the Apex group, which is this group right here, and then I have the rest of them. And I added a couple of Lucid accounts this afternoon, honestly. So that's why they weren't traded with my other accounts this morning. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my take profit account, the two Lucid accounts, and the remaining Tradeify account all traded as one group. And then if I add more, if I pass more of the take profit accounts, I'll add those to that group as well. And likewise, if Tradeify goes back to maybe a 90, no, they don't do 90% sales, but whatever. If they have some kind of a sale, I might add some accounts. If not, we'll see what we can do with Lucid. So I wasn't really planning on adding more accounts and spending more money, but with that 50% sale that Lucid had ending today, I'm not affiliated with Lucid, but I just decided I'm going to give it a shot and bought a couple of Lucid Direct accounts. So we'll see. Nice little start to the day. And just for the record, these Apex accounts I'm going to try to babysit, and I'm really going to take, these are basically my long haul accounts. And the other accounts are going to be traded a little bit more aggressively. And hence, like the last trade today that you're looking at right here, this was a trade, a pure price action trade with the second Lucid account, and resulted in a nice $200 trade. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more of that. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit tired of this, just playing this little game. I either want to get payouts or blow accounts. I don't want to blow accounts, but we need to move the needle. I mean, I've spent the whole year, I know it's October, but I've spent the whole year and I've gotten one payout, and that was back in January. So I've kept accounts for a long time, but then eventually kind of bleeding away, and it's because I'm taking a pretty small risk approach, and I'm not going crazy, but I did increase my risk to 150. So I'm going to be risking up to 150 per trade, and I'm really going to be looking for about a 1.5R and then letting one runner go. I'm going to take most of the position off between 1 and 1.5 R. So if let's say I'm in a trade, I'm risking 100. When we get to 100 to 150 in profit, I'm taking the trade off. Like this one here, I actually reversed my trade on this last one. I took it off here at 168, most of the contracts, and took a single one off here at $37 just because we were getting a little bit of a flush in the stagnation, and I was like, well, I'm moving my stop to break even. That is one of the things I did set, is once we get halfway to my initial target of 1.5R, my stop automatically goes to break even. So, and I like that. It really protects the trade, and the tough part for me is holding into a bigger move like that, because I have all the most of the contracts shooting for a 1.5R. But in any case, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive. And because of that, we're going to have some red days. We're going to have some red trades. And the other side of the coin is that if I have a couple of good trades, it's going to make up for those red trades. So, but yeah. So let's just dive in. Might be more beneficial to just look at it on TradeZella, and then maybe we'll look at some of the accounts. But here's today, up 167, 60% win rate, average win to loss 0.7. This is probably going to suffer a little bit with this different ATM where I'm taking most of the position off at 1.5R. Because if I have several losing trades and I don't get a bigger win, this is what's going to happen, just like this. But if that's the case, we need to see this win rate come up. So again, I'm not stuck on statistics. I do want these statistics to be in the right direction, but at the end of the day, this is what matters. So, and yeah, we need to push that heavily. So up 168 today, so green start to the week. Let's just dive into some of the trades, if I can get there. So the first trade was on, this was with the take profit account. This was a trade on the NASDAQ. Totally got faked this morning. I had 3 losing trades in a row, kind of a sour start to the day. And really, if you look at the NASDAQ market, the NASDAQ really, let's just go to the NASDAQ market this morning. Oh, here we are. Very much just a choppy sideways move. And I believe that AMD had some kind of a contract with AI that skyrocketed that stock up by like 30% today. So that had something to do with it, and the rest of the market was trying us, like the Dow Jones for one. The Dow Jones sold off tremendously this morning. I think we had a huge flush to the downside on the Dow Jones. And the NASDAQ just simply didn't follow suit. The ES was trying to sell down this morning. The Russell was selling down this morning. But as you can see on the NASDAQ, we just kind of went sideways. And I think that AMD definitely helped to push that thing up and probably accounted for, the way the day went. But in any case, let's go back to TradeZella. So on the NASDAQ, I took this short looking for this to continue to break down. The things I'm looking for were there. We were retesting the 9 to 21 EMA. We were below this level. I was just looking for this flush that literally just didn't occur. So we ate a loss on that trade. And let's go to trade number 2. Trade number 2 was also a losing trade, and also on this was on the ES, I guess. And this one here, looking for a break and retest of 67.70. This was a very, very nice setup. A couple of really good wicks pushing down. We had a lot of downtrending pressure, and I just took that short on a red candle. This was actually red when I entered. And then we just reversed. It just simply failed. There's nothing to do. It's just a fake out move that failed. And again, I go back to, I think the NASDAQ was what pulled this up and kept this from dropping. So just an incorrect or a failed trade. And you're going to have that. So it's just one of those things we have to understand and accept. On the Apex accounts, first trade was also a losing trade. This one here, and this one was probably in hindsight, maybe a bit of an error. I was taking a break and retest of the prior day low on the Dow Jones after the big move down. NQ started to tank and YM went higher and took me out. That was frustrating. The thing that I was a little concerned of is we had the big move to the downside on the Dow Jones, but we really had not retested the 921 area. And here was the first time we did. We pushed back up into this level and tested that area, and we started to fall apart. Took the entry, looking for a move back down. Got a little bit, but then ultimately failed and took me out. So again, a little bit frustrating in the first few trades, but you just have to understand that that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. Okay, and then we go to a winning trade on my Apex accounts. This was a break and retest to the long side of the prior day low. This was also on the Dow Jones. I was doing a break and retest of the prior day low, which is right here, and the Thursday high, along with this level. So all of that, we really had fallen through that, obviously had faked. As you can see, here's the other entry that I had taken. Right there's the loss I had earlier. And once that reversed and we retested this, really this wick was what did it right there, that little wick. And the push higher, that's what caused me to jump into that trade, and did run that one up for a nice little profit. So had some trouble at VWAP, and the other market's pretty much stagnant. So I trailed the 21 EMA, and then I got taken out at a 1R, which was fine, but nice little profit there on that trade. Then we moved to, we had a loss on the take profit account. Again, that one there, I suffered a $400 loss today on the take profit and the Tradeify account. Those two were the ones I had copy traded together. This one here, another break and retest of the prior day high on the Russell, on the Russell, and it just failed. I mean, the setup was here. I mean, we were wicking off of that. We had the move higher. We tested the 921 area, and unfortunately, at that point, we had a big move down on the NASDAQ, and the Russell followed suit and just took me out. So unfortunately, 3 strikes and I was out on the Tradeify and the take profit account, but so be it. Then we go to the last couple of trades, which were some really nice trades. This one was a pretty good trade on the Dow Jones as well. This one, after that first trade got trailed out for a profit, right here you can see that first trade getting trailed out for a profit. And then we had a retest of the Thursday high of day, which is right here. So I took that long after we started pushing out. Now, normally I would have waited until we get some kind of an EMA cross. And I've decided I'm going to be just, I need to take shots when I see them instead of waiting for every single piece of confirmation. Now, does that mean we want to be reckless? No, I don't want to be reckless. But in this case, we were seeing signs of the market trending higher, general market, and we had these wicks coming in right here, and we were pushing higher, and we were technically making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and we were starting to see a push out of there, and I just felt like I couldn't afford to wait for this EMA cross to occur. I'm taking the long, and I did, and I ended up sitting in that trade for quite a while. It took an hour for me to hit TP1 right up here, but I did get it, and then the market started being a little bit volatile, and so I just moved my stop up to 2R on the final contract and left the trade go, got wick stopped out, but ended up with a nice trade. So nice little profitable trade there, which put our accounts back into green, which was nice. So pretty happy with that. And then the last couple trades were on the Lucid accounts, the brand new Lucid accounts. Took a gold long. I have been trading gold on evals, and I just haven't traded it much on my funded accounts, but I may try it on the Lucid, Tradeify, and Take Profit accounts. Again, those four I'm going to start trading together, and then keeping the Apex as one group as well, or as a separate group. But took the long here, really just looking for this. This is the overnight high, and we were just holding and steadily trending higher above the overnight high once we broke that today. And so I literally just went long. I literally just jumped in long on this little move, caught the first profit target here, and then I really just set my target, my final contract up here at 4,000 in case it goes there. We ended up getting trailed out here for a break even on the last contract, but we did end up with a little bit of profit, so nothing crazy. But again, I'm going to take some shots on some of these accounts because I want to move the needle. I want to get some payouts. I'm pretty bent on that. So. And then lastly was a really, really nice trade. That was this one right here for a 2.2R winner on the NASDAQ. And again, this is one I want to do more of this, and I'm going to do it on these accounts where I'm trading a little bit more aggressively. For this one, for example, here you can see the EMA cross. We had started to reject the highs of the day. This is kind of the daily high. Actually, it is the daily high, and this is the overnight high. So once we came back and we were starting to fall below, then I saw the VWAP cross, or the EMA cross, happening, and some selling pressure forming. As you can see on some of the indicators down below, especially the WADA ATAR, we did see a fair amount of selling pressure. It wasn't crazy, but we did see some pressure showing there. And I just decided I'm taking the short. I'm taking it, and if I stop out, I stop out, and it's okay. Well, we ended up getting the flush all the way down here to that profit target, and this is the way this is a typical ATM setup. Now, granted, the typical ATM setup here, I'm risking 150. Risking 150 on this stop loss at 18.75 points. My first target here is taking 3 off at 28 points, and my last one somewhere down below. Now, in this case, I ended up moving my single contract to the runner. I ended up taking it off here and left this one sit, and I did get this one, but at 3/4 or at halfway to this profit target, so somewhere right in here, this stop automatically moves to break even. So I was really just kind of protecting the trade, but I did end up with a $200 win, and I would be really, really happy to really get 200 plus, and that's really ultimately where my goal is I want to get above 200 per day. Today we didn't do it, other than the one Lucid account we got there, but the way I look at it is if I can average plus 200, which means that some days we're going to have $300-400 days because we're going to have red days in there, but if you can average $200, it's $1,000 in a week, or close to it at least, with some red days, and that moves the needle and gets you to pay out. And I need to be more focused on that rather than just slowly trading for small profits and getting frustrated at times. So yeah, we're just gonna go for it. And if we lose some of these accounts, we lose them. The babysit ones are the Apex accounts, these 14, and we're just gonna take care of those. So anyway, but yeah, happy with that. Good start to those accounts, and we kind of go from there. So start to the week, it's green, and that's really what matters. So all right, I will leave you with that. It's a start to the week, and we're making a couple of changes, and hopefully that moves the needle for us and we get some of these accounts into some payout thresholds. So again, thanks for following along. Don't forget the Apex sale. I think that's going on for another week. But anyway, that is 80% off and $85 lifetime PA fees, which is nice. I have another account that's about halfway to being passed, and I'm going to try to do that to take advantage of that $85 sale. And then I'll, if I can pass that one, I'll have 15 Apex accounts. I'm probably just going to hold it at that level until they come out with a 90% off sale, and then try to add a few more, because again, I keep spending money. I spent nearly $500 today on those Lucid accounts, but because 50% off, you can buy 2 of them, and that deal does end at the end of today. So if you're looking for Lucid accounts, I think Ninja 50 is the code that gets you that best deal. There's no affiliate code that gets you that, but their house code of Ninja 50 gets you 50% off 2 accounts. So that's why I bought those, and we'll see if we can get them to a payout. If we can, maybe we'll add some more. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. Again, appreciate you guys. Thanks for following along. Thanks for the support. Hope you guys had a green day, and trade well tomorrow. We'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, and so long.